Good evening, everyone! Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course, I'm your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious, and gonna go over Raw was in the Performance Center once again. And yes, it's gonna be in the Performance Center until further notice. So now, big news did break during the course of the day of this recording. Before I get into that news, though, I want to pop into last week, go into last week's gear, talk about the SmackDown Rewind, big things that happened from last week. Bliss and Cross beat Asuka and Kairi in a rematch for the tag titles, and then were issued a challenge against Carmella and Dana Brooks. So this Friday coming up, it's basically going to be have Alexa Bliss, Dana Brooke, Carmella, and Nikki Cross all in the ring at the same time, and yeah, I'm gonna definitely need my heart pills for that. They're gonna damn it, not even out of the opening segment in a botch. Tamina's gonna have a match with Sasha. Tamina wins. She gets a title match against Bayley. We all know where that's going to lead to. They're going to have... and Braun Strowman is building up a feud against Bray Wyatt for the Universal title, which I am honestly all for. You know, because my thing is, I don't care if a guy wins or loses. You know, my big question is... When I look at the match, see Guy A versus Guy B, my big thing is, okay, where do we go from here? I want to know where does the winner go from here, and where does the loser go from here, if you're going to extend that into a story. You know, if you're just having a random bullshit match to further lead into a story, okay, but if you have a match that's part of the story, that's when I'm going to sit there and question, where do we go from here? But either way, other than that, not much else big hype build-up going on for the SmackDown brand, other than the fact that, well, actually, I completely forgot, pardon the joke, but the Forgotten Sons are now on SmackDown, and if you're not familiar with them, they were basically NXT's Job Squad, and yeah, Gunner is in that group, which is yay, I guess. If you want to hear a good opinion about Gunner / Jackson Riker, look up the asshole on Twitter. The Masked Mark, just a stupid Mark, even though he's a rotten fucking asshole. Tell him Tim Vicious told you. Tell him Tim Vicious said, hey, he told me you're a shitty person. He'll understand. But then ask him what's his opinion on Jackson Riker / Gunner, and just listen. But either way, now to the news that broke today. The governor of Florida apparently deemed WWE essential work, so they're going to be following up with doing live TV again. So, and now, and I say news with quotes, news was put out earlier, a couple days beforehand, that, you know, apparently WWE has some kind of a contract deal where they have to produce X amount of live TV for USA and Fox and all. And folks, again, do not live and die by the dirt sheets. Just like with real life news, dirt sheet news, 90% of it is bullshit and 10% of it is fact. That's all it is. You know, there's a single little bit of truth that got made that's from that. If there is, you know, given that it's dirt sheets, you know, chances are Dave, Wade, or Brian, whoever it was that was leading the circle jerk that time wound up saying, oh, hey, why don't we make this? And then the other said, oh, you know what? That'd be great. My sources would also confirm this. Oh, that's a beautiful idea. I'll go along with that. Yeah, fuck them. But I don't believe it. I don't know. It's business matters that I'm not privy to, so I can't really say yay or nay on if any of that info is true. Whether I think WWE is considered essential, I don't know. I look at it in the sense of I'm thankful that I got wrestling on to watch as a distraction to take my mind off of everything that's going on in the world for the next X amount of hours I'm watching. But other than that, that's it. You know, whether it's WWE, AEW, fucking Ring of Honor, NWA, Combat Zone, Evolve, whatever the hell I'm watching. I'm just thankful I got fucking wrestling on my TV, my phone, tablet, computer, whatever the fuck I'm watching it on, and I could sit there, watch it, and forget about the real world bullshit for X amount of time. That said, let's get into this week's show. Raw starts out with the champion, Drew McIntyre, coming out, breaking the fourth wall again, thanking the fans for their support, believing in him from the time he first came in to now, you know, constantly fighting for that moment, for that chance to get that title, and now he's got it. And yeah, then he gets interrupted by Andrade, who then, and Zelina, well, first off, let's, appreciate Zelina Vega for a moment. She comes out, issues a challenge saying, Drew, you are a champion, you won your title, then defended it, not even a whole half hour after you won it against somebody else. But this man right here, Andrade, is the real champion. He's defended his title night in, night out, non-stop. And then Drew basically says, tell you what, you want to put it up. Me and you, we still got history. I remember going against you in NXT. Dislocated my bicep, tore the muscle right off the bone. Took 6 months of my career. I want payback. You and me, we'll go at it tonight. So we get champion versus champion match later tonight, and I'll get to that. First match of the night, though, Money in the Bank qualifying match. Asuka versus Ruby Riott. And Asuka, man, Asuka was leading right off bat. Now, Ruby, she had a little bit of nice offense near the end, but for most of this match, it was, of course, my future third ex-wife, Asuka. Oh, God. Yeah. She straight up killed it. Match came to an end. She put in the Asuka lock after her and Ruby had a nice little sequence. Ruby put in like a Rings of Saturn, then two rolled around for a minute and went into some pin variations until eventually Asuka wound up wiggling around and then boom, popped in the Asuka lock. My biggest takeaway was one, that end sequence, and two, as Ruby was coming out, Asuka was dancing, and I kid you not, if you ever listened or hung out with anyone who has ever jammed out the ska punk, you would appreciate skanking, man, and she looked like she was. Like, I just need a video of her doing that to a Mighty Mighty Boss Tones track. If anyone out there can do that, I would truly appreciate it. Next matchup, we got Aleister Black versus Oney Lorcan. I freaking love Oney Lorcan, you know, no doubt on that. I dug this. This was a good, solid match, you know. I dug it. Oney, he's a good, hard-hitting, double tough sumbitch. That's all there is to it. Oney's tough as shit. Match came to an end, though, eventually. Black, he hit the Black Mass. This was more so because right before that, MVP wound up making an announcement. Black has got a match against Austin Theory next week for a Money in the Bank qualifying match, so Black must look good. Next matchup, we got Sarah Logan against Shayna Baszler in a Money in the Bank qualifying match, and Shayna just straight up murdered Sarah Logan. Like, she threw out a couple slugs at her, next thing you know, propped her arm up, and then did a curb stomp on her shoulder where you heard Sarah just give out this ungodly, like, cry of pain, just, ooh, ugh. Afterwards, Shayna just walked off like it was, like, walked off mad and annoyed, which, I gotta say, it really gives to her character. You know, just like, yeah, she's mad, she lost to Becky, she wants vengeance, she wants blood, she's taking it out on everyone in her path. Yeah. Next up, we got Akira Tozawa going against Austin Theory. This, again, Theory black, so what you expect. What you would expect, and we'll get to that in a minute, but Zelina Vega on commentary oh, God. You know, I'm fairly certain, as much as, you know, and I've joked around on this on Twitter saying Billy Kidman was an overachieving son of a bitch because Billy Kidman wound up somehow at some point in his life, wound up getting Tori Wilson. Aleister Black is like a modern day Billy Kidman because he is an overachieving son of a bitch and wound up scoring Zelina Vega. He got Zelina Vega. So, yeah. Zelina, yeah. That's all I'm going to leave it at that. Just fucking, you overachieving son of a bitch. Now back to the match. Akira Tozawa and Austin Theory, really good. Really liked on how Theory was leading. He was leading in a really good, great way. You know, Akira got some mild offense in. It was more so when they were outside. A lot of people were up in arms because when Tozawa went to go and do a senton, Lawler wound up making a joke saying it was a ramen noodle senton. Listen, I don't appreciate Jerry Lawler any more than anyone else. But here's the cold hard facts. You want fucking heels, then they need to be fucking heels. They need to be assholes, they need to be dickheads, they need to push the boundaries and be borderline insensitive. So you can either have one of two things. You can have a bad guy, or you can complain on how you want a fucking bad guy. Either way, get the fuck over your high and mighty social justice bullshit. Fuck. Now that I got that out of... Had to get that off my chest. Match came to an end. Theory wound up hitting his finisher. They call it the ATL. You know, so yeah. After that, Theory, Garza, and Andrade came down, did a 3-on-1 beatdown on Tozawa, and all the while Zelina Vega was standing on the commentary table, praising it, and, you know, making every 12-year-old boy that's watching appreciate attractive women in bodysuits. Yeah. Next matchup we got Angel Garza going against NXT jobber Tehutl Miles. Tehutl. I don't know how to pronounce the motherfucker's name. Something Miles. Tehutl Miles, I think it was. But apparently WWE must have read my tweets over the past few weeks because I've been saying I feel sorry for Garza because his gimmick is supposed to be the smooth, suave ladies man and there's no girls ringside to woo over. Lo and behold, he comes out with a rose in his mouth, goes over, sees a female, there's a female photographer ringside, gives her the rose and then plants one right on her cheek. Ah, beautiful. Just beautiful. So now he's back to being Damon Delanucci. So yeah. Garza pretty much murdered this kid. It was a squash. Hit the wing clipper, 1, 2, 3, yeah. Then we proceed to get another 3-on-1 beatdown. I am extremely happy on this though because this gave Zelina Vega and not just mad ups for saying she's got a high-class power stable, but letting her boys have a chance to shine. Next up, we got another women's Money in the Bank qualifying match, the last one for the Raw side. Kairi Sane going against Nia Jax. As much as I would have loved to have had Kairi have a good trying to think on how to say this. As much as I'd love to have seen Kairi have somewhat of a fighting chance, yeah, Nia Jax just pretty much ragdolled her. Wanta Pittner would have finished. They said it was an annihilator. What she does, she has him up in the military press, drops him down, and then hits a Samoan drop. So yeah. 1, 2, 3, Nia Jax wins. So all three girls for the Raw side are Asuka, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax, which I'm more so curious to see on the meetings between Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler at this point. Now, next matchup, we got Bobby Lashley going against No Way Jose, and this again was a one-sided match, but this was a one-sided match with reasoning, because Bobby Lashley, during the match, Lana starts going off screaming and yelling. Halfway through the match, he just goes over to her. Would you please shut the hell up? When then he proceeds to go back to kicking ass. Destroys Jose, and then goes off celebrating. Yeah, look at my wife. God, I just wish I could just put a ball gag in her mouth. Not in a sexy, kinky way, just a shut up so I can hear myself think for 5 minutes kind of way. At least that's the kind of look he had on his face. But next up, we come to Viking Raiders against Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, and this was a hell of a tag match. I fucking loved this. You know, nice, good, fast pace at the start. Ivar and then Eric traded off, being the team punching bags. Next thing you know, Alexander was the punching bag after the break. Ricochet wound up getting the hot tag in. Good action all around. I dug the shit out of this, and like I said, I'm a tag team guy. I fucking love tag team. Love tag team matches. All-time favorite tag teams, the Road Warriors. Fucking love tag teams. Love tag team wrestling. Match came to an end, though, with the Raiders hitting the experience on Cedric Alexander. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, well, you built up Ricochet and Alexander for X amount of weeks just to have them lose to the Raiders. Okay, you got two cruiserweight guys who are more known for fast pace, striking, and, for lack of a better term, hitting a shitload of high spots, going against two big, beefy guys. I want you to really think about on how that was going to go. What did you think they were going to do? A shitload like 300 moonsaults? And I'm not trying to discredit Alexander or Ricochet because I fucking love both of them. But I'm thinking on a logic sense. You know? Now we come to the main event of the night. Andrade versus Drew McIntyre. Ring the bell, and Drew McIntyre just pretty much kills Andrade through the entire match. At one point, Austin Theory and Garza are ringside with Andrade. Theory grabs McIntyre's boot, distracts him for a minute. Andrade tries working on the arm that the bicep dislocated, you know, and then at some point, McIntyre gets out there, gets the Theory. Which one of you grabbed my boot, huh? Huh? Was it you? And then, pretty sure with that chop, you could hear, how hard he hit that chop, you could hear Austin Theory's soul leave his body when that happened. Just, God almighty. Oh. Yeah. And then he proceeded to do one like that to Andrade. Eventually, then he hit the Claymore, got the 1, 2, 3. And then after that, Seth Rollins came out of nowhere, beat the shit out of Drew, and it ended with him getting the curb stomp done to him. So we're getting Seth and Drew down the road, which, makes sense from a logic standpoint because Seth, you know, you lose to Kevin Owens, lost to Kevin Owens, so, you know, how does the Messiah redeem himself? How does a Messiah who has been preaching, he is the message, he is the pinnacle, he is God. How does he prove he is from this point? Take out the man who slayed the champion. Take out the champion now. So, yeah. So, that is it for this week's show, folks. So, like normal, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Big thank you to my executive producer, Ali Rewind Ben, who provided the music for this week's show. Check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube also as such. Details are down below. Big thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. While we're all on lockdown, perfect thing to invest into watching. Also, folks, don't forget to check out these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter. Some Mulligan, Kenny Killer, DSB_IV, Diabolica RA, and Sergeant Curry Pants. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.